Body of Christ, Real Talk. This is just an excerpt of the series that I'm doing on my podcast. The food that I love was killing me.
Eat a calorie of fat. It's different than a calorie of lettuce or a calorie of candy or a calorie of pumpkin pie. For all intents and purposes, a calorie is a calorie.
There are only 3 macronutrients, and that's fats, carbohydrates, and protein. Diets are...
Okay, remember when I left off, if you just tuning in, you have to just go back for the last 4 previous, go back to all the shows, when I'm dealing with weight loss and health and stuff like that. I'm giving you my perspective. And a lot of the shows that I would be letting you listen to, I'm comparing them against the diet that I'm on or the lifestyle that I'm on, which is the no-carb, low-carb diet, either the ketogenic or the carnivore diet. It's a comparison, if it comes down to that, of solutions for keeping the weight off, not only losing the weight, because the most important thing is keeping it off, right? Would you agree? So that's what I will address it, and I will compare it to what I am doing. And I on my show, I just recommend a low carb or no carb. I'm not saying this is better than any other diet, because I know there's many good diets out there, but I'm just talking about this is the one I'm on for the ones that's interested. And there's many out there that I think is pretty cool, but I'm talking about the one for me is the low carb. There's many not be for you, but it's for me. And I left off with what you just heard this young man, this doctor say about lettuce is a calorie, which is true. Sweet potato is a calorie. This is a calorie, whatever. All those are calories, which is true. And this was my intake on that. He is correct by saying that, but all calories, those different calories he mentioned, does not affect you the same way, does not affect you and I the same way, even though it's true what he said, they are calories, but a calorie of a slice of pie does not affect your body like a calorie of a piece of hamburger meat or a steak, or a calorie of vegetables, or even a calorie of a fruit. You see what I'm saying? You could have a calorie of a pumpkin. Or just say, since it was a sweet potato pie, let me give you an example. The calorie of a sweet potato, which is a calorie, will not affect you the same as a calorie of a sweet potato pie. Which one is better, according to science? The sweet potato or the sweet potato pie? Which one is health-wise better for you? The sweet potato is better for you than the sweet potato pie, because all the added additives and sugars that's in the sweet potato pie. So even though both of them are calories, one is not good for you, but it tastes better, but it's not good for you. And the other calorie is much better for you if you're looking at it in that way. So I want to just clarify when it comes to calories. Yes, everything when it comes to food you put in you are calories if you calorie focused. But what's the problem when the issue with me, what I get on this, and this is where I see it, when you're focusing too much on the calories, as me being a low carb person that focus more on carbs, but not excluding calories, because even carbs are calories, you have to ask, I will have to ask, okay, but what type of calories are you putting in you? They all are calories, but you just cannot say, less calories would be better for you. You cannot say that. Okay, what type of calories? Because you can eat bad calories and still pick up weight. You can eat less bad calories and pick up weight if they are bad calories with a lot of carbohydrates and hidden sugars in them. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the difference between a low calorie and a low carb. See, if you're eating a good low calorie, low carb diet, as I do now, it benefits me because I'm not worried about, I never do worry about the calories anyway. My consumption of food is less now, not because I'm worried about the calories, it's because I'm satiated more. I'm getting satisfied more. I don't have cravings no more. Why? Because I don't eat a lot of carbohydrates anymore. So my body's getting back used to like it used to be. So I get satiated, I get less hungry, and my appetite is suppressed more because of a lack of bad carbohydrates, not a lack of calories. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the difference between a low carb and a low calorie. It's two different focuses. You see what I'm saying? So you have to see which one is going to be best for you or which one is best for your body. But I'm going to say this, and I say this very clearly. When you're doing a low calorie, make sure it's low calorie with low carb intake. You see what I'm saying? You just can't say low calorie. What does low calorie mean? If you focus just on low calorie, is it low calorie in potato chips or low fat chips? A low fat this, or not as much French fries, not as much junk, not as much potato salads, not as much. Oh, just look at it in the good food way. Not as much salad, not as much vegetables, not as much grains. See, all that is low calorie. But what is in those calories is what you need to be focused on. And it depends on each person's body as well. That's all I'm saying. So when you focus on calories on a diet, it seems to me more stressful because you're too focused on how much you're going to eat. Okay, if I'm going over 1,500, if I'm going over 2,000 calories, I'm going over this. And you might say, man, I'm going over this, but what about the sugar intake? What about the high fructose? What about the glucose? Is it raising your insulin level? Is it still giving you inflammation? See, those things, you can eat a low calorie and still have bad inflammation. You eat a low calorie and you still have a diabetes problem. Even if you're not eating a lot of sugar because of the hidden sugars, even in some low calorie diets. So when I compare a low calorie food intake to a low calorie bad carbohydrate intake, it's easier for me because if I'm eating low calories, baby, you better make sure that I'm looking at the carbohydrates. Because without looking at the carbohydrate, the more low calorie I eat, the hungrier I'm going to get because I'm not consuming enough. Because carbohydrates added to that low calorie keeps you hungry. It keeps you want to eat more. Sometimes you wind up, man, I can't wait to eat again, but I can't because there's going to be too many calories. While on the low carb diet, you're not worried about that because naturally you are full and you don't have a hunger because why? You're not consuming a lot of bad carbohydrates. You understand what I'm saying? That's the beauty and the difference between a low calorie and a low carb or calorie intakes that's counting the carbs more than counting calories. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I can look at ingredients and it'll be different than someone that's looking at ingredients on a box because they're looking at the calories and looking at the carbohydrates. They're looking at carbs too. I'm not saying that they don't, but they're more focused on, okay, even though there's a lot of carbohydrates, I got to cut those carbohydrates in half. See, so they're more, but if they look at the calories and they're looking for something about 160 calories, but it might have 280 calories, they say, I can't do that. There's too many calories. Why is there too many calories? If you go down and read all the ingredients in it, you see that all those carbohydrates and stuff added. See, calories, carbohydrates. So a low carb person focus on carbohydrates as more. I'm not saying too many calories won't bother you. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying what's in those calories. See, I'm more focused on the carbs and the sugars over the calories. The other things and the other crazy stuff I'm suspect about because of the maltodextrins and all that other stuff. And maltodextrin, from what I hear, is even worse than sugar. See, I read the labels looking for those. I'm not worried. If I see something about 0 carbs to 3 carbs, that's what I'm looking for. And I see something with no sugar or maybe just 1 gram of sugar, that don't bother me. But when I see something like 11 grams of sugar, and that's already a no-no. Even though I might say low carb but 11 grams of sugar, I'm saying no. But a lot of low carb people might see, not all 11 grams of sugar, they might see low calories and say, this might be okay. But if they're educated enough, they know When they see that much sugar in there, it don't matter how low the calories of the fat is, you don't touch it. But if you only calorie focus, that can be the deception that you will and most will fall into. You understand what I'm saying? Let me let you hear some more.
Are generally based on eliminating one of those three food groups. But if we just cut back on all of them and just ate less, that would work.
The laws of physics, as we say, relate to the regulation of body weight. Energy in, energy out.
Okay, you heard what the last young lady said. If we just cut everything out, whatever, that will work. What she's talking about, what I just said earlier, calories. Whether they less carbs or more carbs, cut out the calories. See, the focus of their what they are preaching for the solution in America for health and weight loss is less calories. And I'm sure no matter how long I listen to this, you're not going to hear a lot of focus on meat and poultry, because most of these people that that has a focus on the way to get America healthy, and I'm not saying that they're not sincerely meaning this, but they have the wrong focus. They're focused on calories. They are focused on less sugar. They are focused on a lot of junk food, no doubt about that, which is good. But what gets me is they leave the meat out. They don't take out the meat, but they just believe only in lean meat. They will promote lean meat, but they wouldn't so much promote fat meat, which I promote. You see the difference? And most of the meat, if they do promote it, it's going to believe me, it's going to be chicken breast, not chicken thighs, or something like that. Anything with mostly a lot of fat on it. If just say, for instance, a person that's looking at that does promote meat part with their low fat diets will mostly promote lean meat. That's the traditional American way to look at meat. It has to be lean, no fat, because remember the traditional theory in America is fat is bad for you, raises your cholesterol. So they would not promote a lot of fatty meat, even though that's the meat that we need. We need fatty meat, but it's been lied and said we need lean meat. So even remember the regular bacon all of a sudden was tucking out, and what did they come up with? Sizzling. Remember sizzling? A lot of you probably don't. It was a bacon called sizzling. Sizzling was pretty good too. Sizzling was a bacon that was less fat. It took all the fat out, and you just eating the sizzling meat. That's a lean bacon. They called it sizzling. I never heard. I don't know what happened to sizzling. But my point is, they do say something about meat, but believe me, it's going to have something to do with lean meat. See, eating a lot of lean meat is good, but it will not help me because I need the fat with it. I need the protein. You see, it might work for you or someone else, but for me, because, my body, I need the fat. The fats from the meat. I need the whole meat. Even eating a bone of a chicken is good. That's inside the bone is good. They wouldn't promote that. See, they would look at that as dangerous and this and all that, but a lot of their reasons against meat is observational. It's not scientifically proven. It's observational. There's no proof. Most of their things against meat is observational. That's a big difference. It's observational proof. There's no proof. It's just passed along. This can happen to you. This might happen to you. It's observation. It's not scientifically proven. Most of the knowledge we know is mostly scientifically, observationally proven. So the point is, I don't even have to go through this whole documentary, and it might be something you want to look at. I recommended The Weight of the Nation, which is good because there's a lot of obese people, but I would not follow their whole food diet because it's the same type of traditional way of getting better. And most people that's going to start these type of diets is going to fall off because they're focusing and addressing the wrong solution, which is only calorie counting and not bad carbohydrate counting. Real talk with Joseph Brownlee, Body of Christ Real Talk. If you're interested to want to know how to lose weight and try to keep it off and have more better health, hit me and we'll get into that. But it's going to be low carb. That's all I recommend on my show. God bless you. Peace out. Love you all.